pull out a result in overtime like that?
Yeah, I thought we had just a magnificent week at practice, and it just kind of felt like in the first half it didn't quite transfer, and obviously spent a lot of time on Bryce, and I thought just some of the second effort ones that he got off an offensive rebound, pitch out to him, and he takes a few of those to kind of get him going. But I think he had 14 in that second quarter, where I thought we were better in that second quarter, and I thought Joe was just a little bit down, but I thought Ariel helped us through that period. I thought he was really good, and then Joe comes back that second half and just kind of a different guy, and was really aggressive and good for us, and LT started to really attack, and it was kind of talked about just the decision making at halftime. We needed more people to kind of step up. I thought we were kind of looking for IC and Chris a little bit more, and other people started to impose themselves a little bit, and I talked about Joe, but even Shea just attacking the rim and just being a bit more aggressive. So it's important learning for us about we want to make sure that these guys, and we hunt good threes for these guys, but making sure everyone else is still involved. And I thought LT was good in that second half as well. But IC made some big plays. Delhi, the toughed it out last week, and this week the injury just wasn't right, and he just kind of lacked a little bit of pop. So just putting the minutes that we put into Shea, where he was cooked, and we still asked him to keep going, and how we tried to use timeouts just to rest him a little bit. But Gutsy went a little bit of luck in it as well, but we probably deserve a little bit of luck against them for a couple of games that we've played them in the past.
Was Daly, I know he's had the other injury, he took like a real bad screen, sort of took a knock and didn't seem to play much until that last minute. Were you actually keeping him out because of that, or was it just IC's going the other rotations?
Yeah, no, we just thought, and once we played him start of the third, and it was just like, he's just not quite right, it's and then we kind of, even when Delhi was in through that little period, it was like, I think IC's just got more pop in his legs right now to go guard Bryce. So I think like Delhi jumped on the bike, and if we needed him in desperate situations, and and kind of an error from me, in subbing Shea out to try and get him a rest, and then I couldn't get him back in, and I needed Delhi for that last possession as well. So, of regulation just to guard that one. So, good to win without him, and, we know what IC's capable of doing as a closer, and he showed that tonight.
You mentioned the different guys sort of getting going offensively later in the game. Do you take a lot of pleasure from seeing the guys make adjustments, seeing the guys adapt to whatever you're getting thrown at? Because it seemed like first three quarters offensively, it was pretty tough to get stuff done.
Yeah, I think we were, three or four of 18 or something like that. I think we went, something like, 8 of 13, 8 of 14, something, after that third quarter and overtime. So, putting the ball in the hole and shooting confidently and making sure, CG and IC were the guys, and LT really stepping up and making those shots as well. So, I thought there was a lot of good open looks in the first half, though just didn't think we were aggressive enough with it.
And you've played big games all over the world, all sorts of things, but how much did you enjoy that? What did you see from the way the guys got it done in fourth quarter and overtime when there was a lot of pressure on?
It was good. It's like Coach said, I think it's a testament to us coming out in the second half and being more of who we wanted to be, who we've been all week, trying to get ready. But just guys, gritting it out. Obviously, with guys going down and maybe guys are a little tired, but at the same time, being able to pull for one another. We talked about it all week of don't let your teammate down. Even if you're tired, either get a sub or kind of just grind it out. And I think that's what we did in that fourth quarter and in overtime and got the win.
Do you like shooting under the stars? It looked like you barely missed one tonight.
I missed my first free throw, so that kind of bothered me a little bit. I was kind of thinking about the win too much, but just how the game flows. I try to find my spots and pick them as best I can in the flow of the game. And guys were doing a great job. I try to play a lot of CG a lot because of obviously the gravity that he pulls with what he does. And guys setting screens and just kind of floating to open spots, receiver spots. We talked about it a lot, and we're just rising up and shooting it.
Ian, how good did it feel to hit the shots that you did at the end, especially because it looked like we were really frustrated at the end of the fourth quarter? You had a few turnovers. How good was it to step up and hit those, and what's it like mentally to sort of forget about those plays and step up and shoot those shots?
I mean, it was tough. Obviously, ball slipping out of my hands, me falling over, things like that, turning the ball over. But the guys did a great job of coming back to the huddle and just saying next play. And, if I don't want to be the guy that's make it about myself, obviously, but, CG hitting a big shot, Joe hitting the free throws put us back in a position to where now we're back in overtime. Now it's 0-0 again. So just being able to keep my head in those positions. I'm hard on myself a lot, so credit to the guys on the bench and even CG coming over to me and saying, this it's over now. Let's keep going. So that helped me a lot.
Dean, what did you think about the defense on Bryce? Obviously, he played all 45 minutes, 36 points on 20 shots. He made tough shots. He probably had a really good game by his standards. What did you think about the coverage?
Yeah, it's wild that he played 45, for the way that he plays and the speed that he plays at and the defense that we had on him. So we kind of look at it and say, actually, we probably did a pretty good job for him playing 45 minutes to only have him have 20 shots. But we were a beat late on a couple of them, and he rose up and knocked them in. And part of tonight was trying to limit the amount of times he got to the foul line, and 9 is probably still a little heavy, but I don't think we ever foul him on a 3-point shot tonight. How our closeouts on, we talked in depth about so many things tonight, and some of them we got done, some we didn't. But yeah, it's a hell of an effort from Bryce to keep doing what he did all night.
What's it like mentally when Bryce never leaves the floor, so you guys can never ever switch off?
Yeah, I think that was a part of our week at practice to say, the relentlessness that we had to do to try and continue to have him not catch the basketball. And there was some really good things about that. But he forces you to be so much better defensively, and we talked about even just running down the floor and being able to see him all the time and never have your back turned to him. And so there's so many little detailed things that I thought the coaching staff did a good job with through the week, and we can still get better at them.
How was the heart rate on that first Joe free throw?
Wow. He changed his free throw routine just a little bit recently. He wanted to get better, so I had good confidence that he was going to go knock those 2 in. But yeah, once it bounced up, it was a little bit scary. And even the fadeaway jumper that he made with 1 second on the shot. There was so many big plays, in this game, and we couldn't get the ball in bounds. To Shea on the CG triple, and then we got it in, and we got it to where we wanted, and then him banking one with a side out of bounds play with 1 point something on the clock, and there's just so many big plays in the game. So packed out house for us. I heard the fireworks were unreal. We talk about this being kind of an iconic game in Melbourne right now, and a kind of a must-go-to kind of game. And so it was a privilege for us to play in it. And we obviously didn't want that type of close game, but we learn a lot from it, and nice to pull that one out.
You've played games on huge stages, but was this spectacle among the most spectacular things that you've been a part of, from the open air to the fireworks to the nature of that game and the shot making and the moments in that one?
For sure. I played in one other open air game last year in Adelaide. In Perth. I'm sorry. When I was with Adelaide, but it's a fun environment. Obviously, being a packed out crowd as well, and the fans showing up. But it's just like I said, it's one of the things where it's hard not to get up for. You try to make it a regular game as much as possible, but you know how much it goes in throughout the week and everybody talking about it and things like that. So, it lived up to it. Like I said, I'm glad we got the win, especially going into this break. But, yeah, it's definitely one of the biggest games that I played in.
Luke was one of your most consistent performers the whole night. Is he adding layer up over layer to his game as the season wears on?
Oh, for sure. We talked about in his, we did our performance reviews this week, and was just a couple of little tweaks to his game that we wanted to see, and part of that was, just really getting more confident in his three-point shot, and to him go a couple of weeks in a row, 2 out of 5 last game, and 2 out of 4 again tonight, and huge for us. And he shoots big ones right when we need him, and the one he rattled in the corner was huge for us. So I thought there was a couple we challenged on. They were relentless on the offensive boards early on, and it didn't quite think LT got to some of those. And so, we still see things that he can be so much better. And could he go on the break? Could he go smash that one on? And we keep looking at those, chipping away at those things. But I love his growth, and I love the confidence that he's playing with.
Dean, on Joe's 3 throws, you put Huck 40 in. Was that tactical or psychological? Because we know Joe doesn't like being slided.
No, I think we kind of had to. If the best chance of it missed was to have Ariel in there to tip it out and to do something. So I just got to be better with who I sub out and understand the rules a little bit better as well. So improvements for me.
Ian, how tough is it as a player out there to actually guard a guy like Bryce Cotton, who's just a lead player on the court?
I've known Bryce for a long time, and a lot of games that I've played over here has been battles against him. Obviously, we know what he's done, his history here, obviously playing in Perth and the attention that he draws on with his team. But, it's always fun playing against him. It's tough because it's, even with the shot making, you think you're there, and obviously you don't want to foul him. But he's makes some tough ones. And, even I credit Shield. I talk to him throughout the game all the time, ask him if he's tired. I know he's gassed sometimes, but he's so relentless in what he does against a guy like Bryce and everybody as well. But he's one of the tougher guys to guard in this league. Obviously, he gets downhill. He can draw so much attention and getting guys open. Usher had a good game as well tonight too, and I think that was part because we were so paying a lot of attention to Bryce. So everybody knows who he is, and it's a pleasure to compete against him.
Yeah, and credit Shilly there. He's plus 15 in his minutes as well, and so amazing what he was able to do in his minutes tonight. For sure.
It took a while for JLA to get started a bit. He was a bit shaky in that first half. What changed in the second half for him to get going?
Yeah, I think sometimes when we give him responsibility for really, trying to pack the paint, and anytime Bryce has got it, when the center's the helper, and having other people try and help him, and I think at different times it probably puts him in a little bit of a passive mindset about how he guards his own guy and different things. So we've got to continue to find ways to, when we're asking him to be that super helper and protect the rim for us, that we probably need to go to him at the other end a little bit more and get his aggression going down there. I loved the way he bounced back tonight. That's the important part. If he wasn't great the first half, and Ariel did a really good job, and that's the luxury of having those two guys. If one's down a little bit, the other one seems to just really pick it up. So, but I loved the way Joe wanted the basketball down the stretch there, and for him to make those 2 free throws, he'll walk out with a lot of confidence.
And you had a great shooting night. You've been one of the most efficient perimeter guys, maybe the most efficient perimeter guy this season. What are you seeing out there that's getting you in such a flow and that's allowing you to see these shots fall at the rate that they are?
I just try to hunt good ones, honestly. It's not really much more to that. We got guys that CG's a tough shot maker, and he draws that attention. And guys, when especially in the second half, specifically tonight, when Shay's going downhill and he's being aggressive, when you got guys like Joe that can get it on the block and go one-on-one, it makes my job just easier. And a lot of them are wide open sometimes. I get into it where the shot clock's late or something like that, but for the most part, I try to be as efficient as possible with making the open ones. It's pretty simple as that.